Okay, and we're live. Welcome to another episode of From the President's Desk. I'm Adam Helmers, Communications here at Catholic Missions, with our President, Father... Well, today, I guess we can make it official on Facebook, but it's Monsignor.
So my bishop, Doug Crosby from Hamilton, has been trying to do this for a long time, and I kept telling him you have to be 65 to apply for Monsignorship. So Friday, 2 days from now, I turned 65.
Okay.
So he sent the letter in again, and this time they accepted it. So now I should talk about that a little bit. A lot of people don't understand.
Yeah. Who's they? The Vatican?
Yeah, we won't go there. A lot of Catholics don't really understand because we don't explain it to them. I don't get paid anymore, and there isn't extra work I have to do, like when you become a cardinal, you have responsibilities in Rome. It's simply a title. Mm-hmm. So the bishop wrote to the Pope saying he was pleased with my work with Catholic Missions in Canada and thought that I should have the title.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean that I'm moving to Rome because I'm a chaplain to His Holiness. I'm one of 10,000 chaplains to His Holiness, so even if I went to Rome, I couldn't say I'm a chaplain to His Holiness. I want to see the Pope right now. I can't do that.
Well, it is an honor.
It's an honor.
Yeah.
But it's just a title. That's what it is.
Been bestowed upon you.
Still looking after Catholic Missions in Canada. I'm very happy to do it. Too.
So did you got a letter from the?
So I've received a letter from my bishop, but there is an official letter. He said what it's called, but I couldn't distinguish the word that he used. So in a few weeks at our Chrism Mass in Hamilton, he will present this to me, and then I can hang it in my office.
Okay. So it's an actual...
It's a piece of
document.
paper. You don't get installed a Monsignor.
Okay.
They do a public acknowledgement.
Well,
but it's just a letter.
I think you might be the first Monsignor that I know personally.
Oh.
But I'm not very old.
No, you're not very old.
I was talking to somebody, and you're the second Monsignor they know. Yeah.
They don't name them too much anymore. And Pope Francis raised the minimum age to 65.
Too many Monsignors.
I guess, well, when you really look at it, maybe every priest today should be a Monsignor because of the amount of work that they're doing, Yeah. So I'm very humble about it. I'm not too worried about whether people call me that or father. So, but I think it's an honor for the organization to have a Monsignor at the head of it.
So speaking of work, what have you been up to?
So I was just at St. Peter's Seminary in London, Ontario, and celebrated Mass and then heard confessions. I'll be going back in September to do preach a day of recollection for them. We're looking at the possibility of getting some of the seminarians into the missions. They have a special fund for that.
Yeah.
But also they have, is it 4 or 5 seminarians from the St. Boniface Archdiocese, which is a mission diocese. So it was good to see them.
So St. Peter's is one of, 4 seminaries in Canada?
3.
3?
So St. Peter's in London, St. Augustine's in Toronto. And I think wait a minute. No, it's 4. St. Joseph's in Edmonton. I think it's Christ the King in Mission, BC, which is for
right.
the
Redemptorists.
Vancouver diocese.
Oh, okay. Okay. And then there's not third-party seminaries, but what do you call that? Because there's the Oratorians in Toronto, but that's their own.
That's that's for studying philosophy. They they aren't registered as a university.
I see. Okay. So not a lot of people know that about CMIC, but we provide seminary and bursaries to mission dioceses, and it's a little tricky because it's not like our goal is to fund seminarians who are studying to become priests and eventually serve in missionary dioceses or mission dioceses. Right? These aren't just seminarians for any diocese, right?
No, for service in mission dioceses.
Right.
So 24 dioceses in the country.
Yeah, which is unique from any other seminarian support. We're specific. We want to help the guys that are planning or intending to serve.
So
in mission dioceses.
university education is very expensive. And I have suggested to the mission bishops that when they're dealing with foreign countries bringing men over, that they should be ordained already, because to educate them in Canada is exceedingly expensive because there's no government assistance like there is for Canadian students.
Yes, as a I see, and I think we have, I want to say 12 seminarians for the whole
I think
country?
it's 10.
10? Okay. Yeah.
Currently.
But lots of people will discover that about us, and then they'll reach out wanting to start an endowment fund in support of seminarians, or. Yeah.
So the endowment fund that we have really is for all of the objects of our corporation, but because the principal of the fund is not large enough to generate enough income, right now we reserve it to assisting seminarians studying theology. There was a time when we subsidized philosophy studies, so undergraduate degrees, but we're finding that we're bleeding a lot of money because there were many who were not going on to theology. There were two who got degrees for free but didn't go into the priesthood.
Yeah, that's the challenge with funding seminarians, really. I mean, because it's also such a personal discernment process, right? Because you can leave at any point.
You can leave at any point, and our resources are limited, so we have to use them very wisely.
Yeah.
And so we stopped the bleeding, and so we're almost at an amount of principle that we have enough to fill the subsidization of the men that we have. We need some more so that we don't dip into our general account.
What was it like being back at your? Is that your alma mater?
No. Although they have a very beautiful chapel, Gothic chapel.
It's not my alma mater, but I went to Western, so I spent a lot of time at St. Peter's.
So you know St. Peter's. It was the first time I was in the chapel. I think I've been there once before, but
yeah, it's great.
Just in the office area. I went to St. Augustine's for my Master of Divinity, and then I went back to Regis for a Master's in Theology.
University of Toronto.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. They've done a lot of work at St. Peter's, even since I actually did come and see there. Many years
and they're
ago.
continuing to do that, making bigger rooms with individual washrooms and showers.
Yeah. So, did you meet seminarians that gave you hope for the future? Are there more priests coming to Canada?
There are some bishops do that better than others in selecting individuals who want to come, and those who are able to adapt to the extreme conditions of our missions and stay for a while. It's a huge investment for them, and always a bit of a gamble if somebody shows up and then says, I'm going home.
It's completely different for them as well. If you think stereotypically about studying for the priesthood and becoming a parish priest, if that's your mindset, it must be hard to adjust to the calling of missionary priesthood, right?
Yeah, as I've said before here, it's missions are not for the faint of heart. The missionary vocation is, I think, a special calling from God. You have to have the personality, the aptitude to be independent, look after yourself, be a leader, have a rich prayer life, know your scriptures, and be a people person.
And you have to have, well, I don't know, like, you historically had to be able to build churches.
Well, historically, the churches are all built, and
anymore.
the faith
but
is
it does
established.
help to know how to use tools.
It's good to know how to use tools, or to know how to delegate and find people who have those, so that they can do it.
I want to talk to you about, hot off the press is our spring issue of Catholic Missions in Canada magazine. Should be arriving in homes any day now. If you're not subscribed yet, I strongly encourage you to get a subscription online for free at cmic.info/subscribe. So you cooked for a lot of people. What was it?
This time was 80, or was it? No, it was 90 people.
Okay.
The previous time, I think, was 100, and the time before that was 150.
Okay. So you went to, was it Yellowknife?
White Horse, and cooked 80 pounds of prime rib, and made 90 individual Yorkshire puddings.
Yorkies? What are they called?
No pierogies.
No, what are they called? The mini ones.
The mini ones.
Yorkshire puddings.
Yorkshire pudding. It's called Yorkshire pudding. There's no mini ones.
What's his face? The chef calls them something specific.
In England they're called puffovers or something like that.
Popovers?
Popovers.
Yeah, so you, what were you doing? What was your connection there?
Well, I had been stationed at the cathedral in White Horse, and the Knights of Columbus asked if I would cook their annual ball, because they didn't have a cook and they knew that I cooked. And it was a big success, so the next year they asked if I could do it again. And then, unbeknownst to me, they haven't had one since, until 2024, and they had a couple of cooks lined up who bailed at the last minute. So the Knights called me and asked if I would return to do a repeat performance. And I did. And with the help of some of the CWL members who made pies for dessert and assisted cutting up vegetables, and a group of high school students, we got it all done. Everybody seemed to be happy.
Yeah, it's interesting that they had you there for that. That's pretty special, because people must still know you from your time there, right?
They do, and I went because it's a mission and I wanted to help them out.
Yeah.
But in a sense, the dinner itself didn't have a mission focus.
It's a fundraiser, though, right? No?
Yeah,
Just
and
a
I don't
community.
think they raised that much money. It was more fellowship among the Knights, you know.
Well, that's important. I think that's something that's lost today. I mean, especially after the pandemic, getting people together for community meals. I know that's hard where we are. Anytime I bring it up, people mention you.
I am
Parish suppers.
I'm a member of the third degree in Whitehorse,
Okay,
so
nice.
in a sense it's my council. My fourth degree membership is in Owen Sound.
Yeah.
So, and I wanted to renew relationships and just show support. They're the poorest diocese in Canada, so it didn't benefit CMIC really that much. Gave us an article for the magazine.
Yeah, it's
you
a
know.
good article. I think it's a testament to that community side of things, coming together and
we're
figuring
able
it
to get a
out.
lot of pictures out of it too.
So you met the new rector?
No, he was not there.
Okay.
He had arrived a month or two before.
Oh, okay.
He was away on something, so he's a priest from Toronto, but I don't know him. Father Swabic was there for 8 years, I think. So he dedicated a good chunk to them, and then his bishop called him back. So we thank the London Diocese for being generous in offering Father Swabic.
So right now, the situation in a lot of mission dioceses is that priests are called from other dioceses?
Yeah, they don't have enough priests of their own, so depending on where you are, but a lot of the bishops get Filipino or Nigerian or East Indian priests to come, which is fantastic that they do that. God bless them.
But they are priests of orders, right? They're not.
Not all.
necessarily,
Some are
okay.
diocesan priests.
Okay.
So the challenge is that they're coming into a new culture, a new not a new language, but not their primary language, and the food is not what they're used to. And of course, they're coming from equatorial countries and then going, to really cold places. As I say, God bless them for doing it. What we really need is to have, because a lot of these places are in indigenous areas, we need the indigenous to become priests.
Yeah.
But in indigenous culture, one doesn't want to be better than the other. And rarely do we get an indigenous vocation, but that's exactly what we need.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's that speaks to somebody knowing the situation on hand, which is like a different. That's a different thing from missionaries in the traditional sense, right?
Well, no, if you look at the documents of the church, the goal
Yes, yeah, of
is to
course, yeah.
have uh, the people of the land
Yeah,
become
yeah,
the
yeah, that's
clergy.
right. Yeah, I mean, I meant the traditional sense as in like
So the
stereotypically
missionary
how
would move
it's, yeah,
on to
yeah,
somewhere else.
yeah, yeah.
So if you're in the Arctic, it'd be
Mm-hmm.
great if we could have
Mm-hmm.
Inuit
Mm-hmm.
clergy who speak Inuktitut.
Mm-hmm.
There's still a lot of people who speak their native tongue and know the culture,
Yeah,
or lower down Dene, and then lower down
yeah.
First Nations or Métis.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Like in the Ukrainian churches, quite a number of those guys are Ukrainian, I think.
No. Uh, now a lot of them are Canadian born.
Yes, yeah, but I mean like
But
They're-
they know
culturally-
Ukrainian.
yeah,
They
culturally,
know the
yeah,
language,
that's right.
and of course they know the culture.
Mhm.
There
That's
may be
interesting.
a few, but I don't think there are many from the Ukraine.
Mhm.
I can't think of any bishops, eparchs who are
Mhm.
from the Ukraine. So the Canadian Ukrainian Catholic Church is looking after its own in terms of clergy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, what else is happening? We have our Tastes of Heaven Gala coming up in May. That's May 8th, a Thursday evening gala event here, not here, but in Vaughan.
Just north of
Just
Toronto.
north of Toronto, and we've invited a whole number of our supporters in the area to attend. So if you're one of those people, consider getting signed up, getting your tickets, or sponsoring the event.
Will it be live streamed?
No, it's because we do the virtual wine tasting. That is available live streamed. Yeah, and that one is free to attend online with the optional purchase of the wine package. But the Taste of Heaven Gala will be featuring two guests. One is the Bishop of Dowd. Bishop Dowd. He's the Bishop of Sault Ste. Marie, I think. Yes. No.
Not for
No,
the
no,
gala.
that's not right.
Or
Pierre Olivier Tremblay.
he is from
Bishop of the Diocese
Moosonee,
of
Hearst
Hearst
Moosonee
Okay.
Diocese.
And he'll be joining us, speaking to us in person. The Diocese of Hearst Moosonee has, I want to say, since I've been here, grown in terms of how much we've supported.
It hasn't grown. I think that I've convinced the new bishop that
They can
they can apply.
come to CMIC for support.
But there is also another fund there
That's
associated with the oblates, and I'm not sure that they're getting as much as they once did
Okay.
from the
Yeah.
oblates.
Yeah, just because we've been doing a lot more there. Couple applications in the last years with new roofs, furnace replacements, that kind of stuff. So yeah, he'll be speaking about his diocese, and he was appointed not too long ago.
Not that long
Yeah.
ago.
So,
He's been there a couple of years. Yeah.
and he is an oblate. And then the winner of the St. Philip Neri Award will be there to accept the award and make some remarks. Sister Bernadette Feist.
Feist.
She is a Ursuline
And she has retired,
Yeah.
but she's still working in her retirement.
Hmm.
She used to be on our board.
Okay, so you know her?
I know her a little bit.
Okay.
I know her a little bit. Very strong person. Works with Indigenous very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know we got a newsletter from her over the months. Yeah, so they will be our guest speakers. There will be music, entertainment, delicious food, and a reception. And all of this is our major fundraiser for the year. Try to raise as much money we can, but also awareness, spread the word of Catholic Missions in Canada to anybody who has not yet discovered the needs of Canadian home missions.
Yes. I see that you've put some of our boards out.
Yeah, just as a little visual teaser, if you're interested in getting one of these boards, bespoke boards made by Father Dave, Monsignor Dave. These are available for you to purchase.
So we should say that here we have a
Chessboard.
chessboard, and then we have some cutting boards. This is special because this is end grain, so you have to make two boards, make one board, then cut it apart and put it back together with the end of the board sticking up. So this would be end grain here on a normal piece of wood. So I cut it, then I turn it this way, and so you're cutting down into the end grain, so it's very hard. And then we have a charcuterie board, and this is exotic wood. We have Purple Heart and
It's an interesting color.
Argentine Osage, and it has a polyurethane finish on it, so you can actually wash it.
Nice. So send us a message if you're interested in purchasing one of these. We'd be happy to send it to you.
These are all in the store online, are
Yeah,
they?
And these are in support of Canadian Home Missions, so you're welcome to do that.
We hope that your Lent is
Mm-hmm.
going well. As you spend time praying, fasting, and almsgiving.
Yes, Lent. Always seems so long. Couple more weeks to go. Good. So we will see you all again after Easter, it seems. You are all in our prayers, and please keep missionaries in your prayers, and especially over the Lenten and Easter season as they do all of that extra masses and traveling and all that sort of stuff. So.
Maybe we should mention our new live streaming table.
Oh yeah. Coming from you today, a new studio setup. This table was made by Father Dave. Pretty impressive.
And we can leave all this equipment set up on it, and Adam doesn't need to do that
Mhm.
to take down and set up every
Yeah.
time.
A little bit more of a permanent setup, and I'll work on getting some more cameras and stuff. And then we're also working on getting some guests to join us to get either some bishops or some missionaries from the field to call in and bring the stories directly to you.